Hey, what up, YouTube? First Island Ace here. I'm bringing a deck profile for you guys, and it's my Agent Fairy deck. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. So start off, we have one Archlord Christia. It actually started out that I was only running one because I could only get my hands on the one, but with the build that I have, the one is just amazing. It's really good, just at one, even though some people may not think that, but I'll get into why it's good at one later on. So yeah, one Christia, 3 Hyperion, obvious, it's the dark arm to the deck, pretty much another boss monster. So yeah, 3 Hyperion, 3 Earth, your Stratos of the deck, and it searches out any other agent monster. And if you have Sanctuary, you can search out Hyperion, obvious. So, and it's a level 2-star tuner, so it gives you some pretty good synchro options with the other monsters. So, yeah, it's a necessity. Next card is my favorite card of the deck, Agent Jupiter. The deck has some really broken plays with Jupiter that I'll get into in a little bit, and it's an 1800 agent beater, and like I said, more fuel for Hyperion. So, one Saturn. The decks I've seen don't really like to run this card, but I think it's really good, especially now that it's a format where people are end up paying a lot of life points due to warning and stuff like that. It's actually 1v games where I would open up Valhalla, this card, and Monster Reborn, and like, it's so good, especially like in moments where you're high in life points. Like, if you're able to tribute this off, deal damage to the difference, and Monster Reborn it, you can go for game like in like 2 turns. So, and like I said, any agent monster in the deck is with more fuel for Hyperion. So it's a lot of options, especially with cards from the sky. If you don't need it, you just pitch it off. So I think this card's really good, at least at 1. Next card is 3 Zeradias. 2100 beater, and it's pretty much like a monster form of terraforming. It just searches out your Sanctuary in the sky. So it's a really good card, way better than terraforming in my opinion. So 3 of those. 2 Hecatrice. Pretty much same concept. You just pitch it to search out your Valhalla, and if you pitch it, it just fuels Hyperion. Gives you graveyard control for Christia plays. So yeah, kind of needed. 1 Honest. It's a staple in any deck that runs light monsters, obvious. Even if it's at 1 still. 1 Marshmelon. I don't see a lot of people run Marshmelon either, but I feel it's needed, especially because when you look at other decks like I can't really name off any. The only one that really comes to mind is Glads. When you look at Glads consistently run Spirit Reaper, and in a fairy deck, when you would have the option of running a monster much like Spirit Reaper, why wouldn't you take it, in my opinion? You know, it just sits there and stalls you out, or helps you stall until, you know, with those bad hands. So I think Marshmelon is needed in a deck like this. It's pretty much your own Spirit Reaper. So Marshmelon. And last monster is obvious, Gorz. It's not a fairy, but the token is, so you can honest the token, and Gorz saves your life. So Gorz is an obvious staple regardless of what deck you're running, in my opinion. So that's it for monsters. On to the magics. We have 3 cards from the sky. It's your draw power. Only downside is you can't conduct your battle phase and you can't special summon, but it sets up for your plays later on, and it lets you go through your deck really fast. So obvious card. Next we have 3 Sanctuary in the sky. As long as you have a fairy on the field, you take no damage during battle damage calculation, and this just sets off for all your agents good effects. So it's a staple. Valhalla, only 2. Pretty much it's just your special summon, so it gets off all your high level fairy monsters. First turn Christia, first turn Hyperion. Free Hyperion if you don't have an agent, so Valhalla is way too good. Next card. 3 Gold Sark. Now here's where the deck gets interesting. If you have Jupiter and you gold Sark for your Christia, so if you open up these, pretty much if you open up these 3 and another fairy, you can get out Christia first turn. So you play Sanctuary, you drop your Jupiter, and then you gold Sark for Christia. Since Sanctuary on the Sky is on the field at this point, you can pitch your second fairy to bring a remove from play fairy type monster and special summon it. So you pitch your second fairy to bring out the remove from play Christia from gold Sark. And I've shut down so many decks with that play first turn because they really don't have a lot of options out of it. So it's extremely good. Gold Sark is one of my favorite cards in this deck. And even if it's dead, like, you can just search out any other cards. Like, if you don't have the options, if you don't have like the tools to play that combo or any other thing, it gives you the plus to search out your combo pieces. So it not only sets up plays like that, but it also helps you search out to set up your other plays. So gold Sark at 3. Next we have the staple lineup: Monster Reborn, Dark Hole, Double MST, Giant Trunade. That's it for the spells, and on to the traps. All we have is 2 Compulse. It gets rid of big synchros that you don't want. If you open up first turn against Sams and you have this, it stops them because they end up summoning and just bounce it back, and they've wasted their normal summon, so they're kind of screwed into that. So Compulse is just really good. Plus I don't have Warning, so it's a good second in my opinion. 1 Tribute, 1 Mirror Force, 1 Solemn, and Return from a Different Dimension. This card is so good late game. It's 1v games where I can bring back like 5 of my fairy monsters. Any fairy monster that gets removed from play. If they de-prison Christia as a last resort, because really that's one of the only ways to get rid of Christia, you can bring it back with Return, push her game. It's just really good. I love this card. So, yep, that's the deck, you guys. Let me know what you think. Post, rate, comment, subscribe. Give me any tips on the deck if you have anything. Let me know what you guys think. Alright, peace, YouTube.